Oh my god, I'm live.
And then
This is that awkward time when people are on
button,
live.
I think.
Oh.
To add in.
Okay.
Oh wait, I can't see.
I've never live before. This is so.
Okay, you can. Whenever she's on, you can.
Okay. Hi, everybody. I've seen so many lives where people are like up in the camera and they're trying to figure out how to live. And people don't know how. Oh my god, we already have like 4,000 people. Oh my goodness. Wait, Mark, can you see if I can figure out how to do this? Let's give you a... Oh, shit. That's filters. Hi. No.
You're going to add her in? See if she's on there. Just Stacey.
Hi, you guys. Oh. This must be super interesting to watch. What the...
And she might not be on yet.
Okay.
So she'll probably send you a request also.
Hi, everybody. Wow, there's so many people here. I love you. I love you. I love you guys. This is my first live. Now you guys know what I'm doing at this exact moment. How nuts is that? Oh my God, Simo. What's up, bruh? Thank you to my friends who are on this saying hi. I'm supposed to be like, I do not, like, as someone who played a computer hacker for 7 years, I do not how to work computers, which we all know. But, okay, requests. Yay. I think Stacey's coming right now.
If you want to turn up comments, you hit where the comment thing.
Hi!
Hey, good job.
I did it. Were you watching me struggle?
I was watching you navigate your challenges, and you were just setting us up for suspense. You knew what you were doing.
Thank you so much, Stacey. How are you?
I am well. It is look. I loved your character on Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. I think you were awesome, and it's just an honor to be with you.
It's an honor to have you here with me. This is pretty crazy because we are in the home stretch, and I know your time is incredibly valuable, and for you to be spending it with me right now for 15 minutes, I'm so excited. For those of you guys who are on here who do not know, Stacey is a badass. She's an iconoclast. She's also, you're one of my girl crushes, so I'm kind of geeking out right now. And you have been leading the fight for a very long time, and you have been one of my biggest inspirations. So I'm so excited to get to talk with you, and to have, people having, an intimate understanding of what you've been doing.
Well, look, it is my honor to be with you, and I'm just so impressed with the new vote and the work you've been doing, marrying your activism and your acting. And so where else would I be?
Thank you so much. I guess like we should let's jump in. You founded Fair Fight, which is an incredible organization, and a lot of the knowledge that I've actually learned and used to kind of help start what we're doing at Run came from learning from you guys at Fair Fight and Culture for the Change, which has been incredible. If you wanted to speak a little bit about that, that would be amazing.
Well, first of all, the reason I started this work, I actually started working on voting rights when I was 17, long before you were like a thought. So 1991, set up my first table at Spelman College to get my friends to sign up to vote. Many of them ignored me, but enough of them did that I kept working at it. But the thing was, back then I was working on expanding the right to vote, getting young people in particular to understand how much change we could create if we simply used our rights. Fast forward 25 years, they gut the Voting Rights Act, and instead of fighting to expand the right, I'm fighting to protect it. Mm-hmm. And so Fair Fight really is about how do we protect the right to vote. But Civics for the Culture, the program you've been so kind to be a part of, that's about understanding why now is that moment. Mm-hmm. In 92, when we had the Rodney King decision, there were protests, there was anger, there was righteous indignation, but by November, nobody was talking about it. Mm-hmm. The difference now is that the young people of color that we are trying to educate, prepare, and activate, you all have the numbers to actually change things. You didn't stop marching in May or in July or in September. You didn't let this fade from the conversation. you've been so intentional. And so my mission is to make certain that every young person of color in particular understands the power of their vote, and every other young person too. But there's a critical mass we've hit, and that critical mass can change the future. That's what I'm doing this for.
And your film, All In, which was, if anyone who's on this live has not seen it yet, it's really, really incredible. I feel slightly ashamed that I learned more information about the intricacies of the way that our government works from your film than I did in years of school. Something, you know, a big thing for me and why I kind of got started in this space was, you know, I think like a lot of young people, for the majority of my adulthood, Obama was my president.
Yes.
And that is a luxury that you don't realize. It's a privilege I didn't really understand until it was ripped away from me, until we, you know, the administration took office 4 years ago. And that really reignited my understanding that things were not the way that I thought they were, that the change the hope, the dignity, everything that Obama represented in office and his policies that I felt reflected me, when that's stripped away, and we're really, you know, the past 4 years has really shined a light on so many systemic issues that have been in place for a very long time. But we are now being they're coming to light in a very egregious way. And you have done such a great job at, I mean, getting this information to young people. It's an intimidating space as a young person who, you know, my involvement from a political standpoint has really been the past 4 years. And I think I speak on behalf of a lot of young people, where it's an intimidating space you have to have a working knowledge of a lot of moving parts, and they don't make it easy, especially for people of color, to access this information. And it kind of is a condescending space, or it can be very intimidating. And I know a lot of people feel that way. And so what we wanted to do at Run, and we wanted to do, is make, you know, we have no excuse now. There's so many outlets. The media is in the palm of our hand. There's so many different ways that we can get this information out. So it's really about pairing that political information and making digestible content for young people to really understand, which you guys have done such a great job doing. And what we wanted to do with, you know, our space over at Run with the Asian American community, particularly in Georgia, we've been doing a lot of, you know, town halls and text banking events for Gwinnett County. I didn't know that we have Georgia's home to the largest, most concentrated AAPI population.
Yes.
26% of that are AAPI youth. 13% of AAPI in Georgia do not have health care, and 11% are living in poverty. So there's a lot on the ballot for Asian Americans, particularly in Georgia, for this up and coming election. And so I guess my question for you is, if you have not voted, if you haven't early voted already, what is something that people can be doing to prepare to vote in this home stretch in the next 4 days?
So number one, I want to go back to something you said at the very beginning about feeling ashamed. Don't. The whole point of voter suppression in the 21st century is that it looks like logic. The way they get us is that it looks like it's supposed to happen this way. Back in every other iteration of voter suppression, it was pretty obvious. We don't like you, shut up. So it was dogs, it was hoses, it was billy clubs, it was laws saying you cannot vote. In the 21st century, and it's really been since 2013. So you weren't wrong. The first half of your awareness, you weren't wrong. When it became more aggressive was after Obama was elected. And what they saw was that there was a critical mass, that 26% you talk about of young Asian people. Those numbers are terrifying to groups that do not want to hear you speak. And so all of the changes that have been made to the laws, all of the ways it's been made easier to block you from voting, it was done intentionally, but the most effective part of it is that it convinces you that you were wrong.
It's gaslighting. It makes you feel crazy, or makes you feel like you're not making the right effort. What was really interesting when we did a town hall with a bunch of these incredible AAPI that are in Georgia. And something that really shook me was they had a very everyone came from different walks of life, different backgrounds, different generational. There was a lot of generational diversity, ethnic diversity within the API town hall that we were having, and they were all very different. But there was a very lived-in understanding of this voter suppression,
Yes.
and it was very casual to them in a way that I know if I was speaking to a group of white voters, this would not be something that they experienced, and particularly in the Asian American community. You know, my dad's family immigrated here from China, and so we don't have like a long-standing tradition around voting. It's something that's really new culturally to a lot of young AAPI voters, and so the new tradition is really what we are trying to encourage. Is this is a time to start a new tradition where you help your parents and teach your parents about voting, and start your new beautiful tradition about you guys doing that together. But it's kind of on us as young AAPI to start that journey.
And part of the reason I'm so invested in the AAPI community, in the Latino community, in the Black community, in the immigrant community, is that we have finally hit a critical mass. The numbers of people who have the ability to shape the future, who share our experiences of being left out, of being marginalized, or of being of the community, but not completely, because we're all the same until we get ready to go vote. And so part of my responsibility, as I see it, is to make certain that I don't just open the door for folks who look like me. I open the door for anyone who's been kept out because of what people think they look like. And why I'm so excited to be doing this work, and this goes to your question about what should we be doing, we have to remember we are powerful. We have the power to actually shape outcomes. There is a reason that they are working so hard to stop us. And we keep hearing that, oh, if your vote didn't matter, they wouldn't be working so hard. It's true. My election, it was 54,723 votes, but we know of tens of thousands of people who were denied the right to vote. 1.4 million people pulled off of the rolls. And we have all of those people who never thought they deserved to be on the rolls because, to your point, they don't come from a tradition of voting. So we've got to build that memory and we've got to build that muscle. But the most important thing to know is that in the next 4 days, your only mission is to cast your ballot. Don't pay attention to any of the crazy, any of this misinformation. I mean, look, we just had a hurricane in the South. You can still vote. There may be, a volcano in downtown LA. Go vote. Like, we need to know that now is our time. And the most important way to do that is to go to iwillvote.com to find out how and where you can vote. Because one of the most effective parts of voter suppression is that the rules are different depending on where you live. So know what the rules are where you live. Don't depend on your friend. If you live in Mississippi versus Alabama versus Georgia, completely different rules. And if you live in Texas versus California, so
it's enraging because there's so many different rules per count. I mean, that it makes it so confusing. I guess I don't feel like this is, again, talked enough about, at least in the space, in pop culture. This affects everybody. This should be infuriating to everyone. I mean, the voter suppression tactics, from the strict ID laws to poll closing to the gerrymandering, it's nuanced, but it's also so obvious. And yet there's not a lot of. You are pretty much the pioneer of getting this information out. I mean, I don't think I would know any of this information if it wasn't for the work that you guys are doing and that you have been doing for the past couple of years. And so
Brian Kemp gave me some time off. He took my, he gave me some free time. I decided to use it. So there we go.
You have used it incredibly well. So I guess, I have the main thing right now is we just have to go out and vote.
Yes.
For people in Georgia, I know there's a lot of AAPI in Gwinnett County. There's specific, it's about going to certain resources, figuring out certain things, and how to really know the exact details of what you're going to need if you will need an ID. I know a lot of immigrants, particularly, people that I've talked to in the AAPI community, their ballots get sent back because of the name signature issues, which is a whole.
So let me do that really quickly.
Yeah.
In the state of Georgia, if there is an issue with your ballot, number one, if you have a mail-in ballot, don't mail it in. Take it to a drop box. If you go to iwillvote.com, it can tell, or vote.org, it will tell you where the drop boxes are. So go find where your drop box is and put it in the drop box. The mail is too slow. It will not work. So that's number one. Number two, then go track your ballot. If you go to peachvote.com, you can actually track your ballot and find out when it's been received and whether it's been accepted or not. If it's been rejected, they have to let you fix it. So 2 years ago in 2018, a lot of AAPI and Latino and African immigrants, we had a number of people who had their ballots rejected in Gwinnett County. We worked to fix that. And so now, instead of your ballot just being tossed aside, they've got to tell you, and they've got to give you until November 6th to fix it. So make sure you check and see if it's been accepted or rejected, and then find out what the problem was. Do not let them throw it away. You have the right to be heard. And the third thing is, if anything happens, no matter what it is, and you have a question, call 866-OUR-VOTE. 866-OUR-VOTE. We can help you with any question you have, because your votes matter. Voting isn't magic. Things aren't going to be better from a single election. We saw that with Obama. Voting is a process. And the difference now versus when I was growing up, when I was a 20-year-old or a 25-year-old or hell, a 30-year-old, the difference now is there are enough of us that we have the numbers to change the outcome. When I was trying, we were good, but we weren't great. You all are great. When you add Gen Y and Gen Z together, you outnumber the rest of us. Use it. And if you are AAPI, be heard, because I see you. I see you growing. I see how strong and vibrant you are. And I know that as an American family, you can help make the difference.
Thank you so much. You are incredible. You are such an inspiration. I hope that we, cheers to the next 4 days. Cheers to everyone getting out there and voting. You guys heard it here. 866-OUR-VOTE. If you have any issues, Stacey, dude, thank you so much for being.
You're awesome. Thank you.
You're awesome.
We'll have to do this again just so we can do mutual admiration, because
I know we should do 30 minutes of just compliments back and forth. I think everyone could use that right now anyway. Thank you again so much.
Bye. Take care.
Bye.